do roll. Again, this is a special school board meeting. It will just take us about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll go into our regular school board meeting. This is called the Truth in Taxation. We do it once a year in December by state statute, and so I'll ask Member Oswald to take roll.
Member Durr-Peter?
Present.
Member Kirby?
Here.
Member Laffer-Kim?
Here.
Member Wolfeld?
Here.
Member Oswald?
I'm here.
I'm here. Member Sandholm?
Here.
Superintendent Magus?
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Bonds?
Here.
Finance Director Zunich?
Here.
HR Director Severance?
Here.
Board Secretary Paquette?
Here.
Board Secretary Carroll is excused. And our student reps are obviously excused.
Thank you. And then I'm going to just turn it over to our Finance Director Zunich, and she will do our Truth in Taxation. And we've got copies of the PowerPoint, and it's up on our screen. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. And thank you for letting me speak tonight. I am presenting the 22 payable 23 property tax hearing for Independent School District 709, Duluth Public Schools. And it's for the school budget year of July 1 of 2022 through June 30th of 23. It has been prepared by Superintendent Magus, myself, and Mike Koheisel, Managing Director of Baird. And my esteemed colleague is going to press it forward for us. So I just want to review the statute here, requirements of the Truth in Taxation hearing. We are certifying the property tax levy tonight for the 23 pay, and we will receive the revenue in 2024. So it's really a 3-year cycle. Enclosed, we have our proposed changes, specific proposes for changes. Our current year budget, you'll be able to see that was approved last June by the school board. We have some information, spending by program area, and then of course at the end, public comments and questions. I ask if we do have any comments or questions tonight, specifically to an individual property, that you would leave your parcel number tonight and contact information, and I will ask you can let us know what your question is, and I will get back to them. Okay? Thank you. So I'm basically just going to read through all the slides. We did a nice job. I feel we did some more informational for you, and some of the slides are pie charts, and they're just supporting the information that I'm reading to you. So it's 30 slides, but don't be scared. So the school district levy and school district funds, the taxes are levied in the fall of 22, as I said before, and collected in 23, and then we receive the actual revenue in 24. The general fund levy is based on student enrollment. Our community education fund levy is based on the population of the district. It includes basic community education revenue, youth services, and after-school revenue. And early childhood family education levy is also based on the number of children under 5 years of age in the district. Then we have our debt service fund levy, and that's based on annual debt retirement schedules. The annual levy is what is needed to pay principal and interest payments of bonded debt plus 5%. A calculation is done annually by the Minnesota Department of Education to determine the level of fund balance. And if it's over the cap of 5%, a levy reduction will be made to bring the debt fund balance to the 5% over levy requirements. A little bit complicated. The debt service fund may be composed of voter-approved bonds as well as non-voter approved bonds, such as abatement bonds, alternative facility bonds, capital equipment notes, and capital facilities bonds, and long-term facilities maintenance bonds. So, how will your payable 23 school taxes be spent? So the general fund, I can read that for you, provides funding for district regular and special ed instructional programs, including but not limited to support services, transportation, instructional, athletic, and operational equipment, technology, building maintenance, etc. And that would make up 38.5% of the school taxes. The community education fund, which is 2.4%, is funding for community ed programs, early child family education, and school readiness. And then, of course, the debt service fund is the levy for repayment of principal and interest on district debt, and that is 59.1, which equals to 100%.
Do these percentages change from year to year?
Yes, they will. The school district levy is changing by $873,087.04, or 2.03%. And you can keep going.
Is it changing up? Like that, that's how much more
Yes,
taxes are being collected?
that is correct. So this is small, but this was the budget, it's in your handout, that
Yeah.
was approved by the school board. And revenues and expenses, nothing has changed there, you all approved that last June. And again, so here we have a nice pie chart. My former predecessor, Kathy, who did text before the meeting started saying, good luck tonight. She loved her pie charts too, but here is a breakdown of, again, all the former slides that you saw, just breaking it down where our revenue is coming from by source. And you can keep going. And our revenue by fund, and as you can see, it's 70, I can't read that, 5% mostly in the general fund. And our expenditures by fund, she would be sad if I wasn't reading everything, okay? And here is the general fund program expenditures. So it's all broken down for you. You approved $118 million dollar expenditure fund, and here is where all the breakdown is by program within the district. Again, my pie chart. Okay, so just some local reminders we wanted to put in here. Back on November 6th of 2018, the operating levy referendum, question 1 passed, question 2 passed, and question 3 did not pass. We provided some percentages there for, I like to look at all those too, just to see what the percentage of pass and fail. You can move forward, thank you. And on November 6th of 18, operating levy referendum. So this is a good slide. The new authority effective taxes payable in 19. So that operating levy referendum is good for 10 years, and that's what that first black slide says. Then the second one says the last year of collection for current operating levy authority is taxes payable 28 or FY29. And in taxes payable 23, this authority generated over $5 million in revenue, okay?
The operating levy on November 6th of 2018 is still paying us this amount.
That is correct, for 10 years. This provides some student enrollment information which you do receive on a regular basis. And here we have estimated pay 23 tax base composition. Mostly 47% is from our residential homestead. And then how are state aid and local levies determined? The authority for school levies, a school district tax levy may be either set by state formula or voter approved. And here is a comparison from 21 to pay 22 and then the 22 to 23. And this is the community ed gross levy comparison. And we also provided the debt service. We were trying to be very transparent with our budget numbers and how we get to where we are at. And then all funds, as you can see, our general fund went down, our community education fund increased, and our debt service fund increased. So overall, it came to the 873,087. And that's how those numbers came to that 2.03%. Here is a school levy comparison back to the 18 levy, informational for you. And what are the main variables that may cause property tax increases and decreases? So changes in market values, changes in class rates or history, market value exclusions, voter approved referendums, state adjustments, and new programs authorized or mandated by legislatures. The market values are final and are not a subject for the upcoming budget hearings. They were discussed at the local county board of review and county board of equalization hearings held earlier this year. The final taxable market values may reflect a reduction under the limited value law. If this property is a qualifying homestead, the final taxable market values may exclude improvements which you made to this property. Here we gave you some more historical information on tax base history back all the way to 2011, so the last 10 years. The state legislative change in the market value homestead credit to the homestead market value exclusion. Back in 2011, legislature repealed the homestead market value credit, the homestead credit, and replaced it with the new homestead market value exclusion. This exclusion began for property taxes payable in 2012 and continues for taxes payable in 23. Here we have just an example. If your taxes did not increase at all at 0%, a $200,000 house would go down by $102.07. We just provided some what-if scenarios here. That if it went to 16%, it would go up $34.89. So we just wanted to provide a range of what it looked like for you. And this is just a copy of the resolution that will be at part of the regular school board meeting, so I don't need to repeat that. So, any comments or questions? Kind of rush through it for you, but
So if we go to page 26, which talks about changes in market value, what that is telling us is that we don't determine market value of people's homes. We just have the responsibility to calculate our levy on that number. And that number, market value is calculated through the county.
I couldn't say it any better.
Okay, just want to make sure that that's...
And just a reminder, every August, the business manager goes into the levy portal with MDE, and I have about 5 things I can enter, like our retirement numbers, what leases we have, and how many transportation miles we have. So we really don't have any control over that. We can just really, the MDE sets the levy. We have a small portion that we can enter information to.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And it,
On page 27, in short, what's the best explanation for that big jump for 2022-23 from 5%?
So because it went up that 15.82%, the best way to explain is that the home values increased.
So that's property value.
Property value, yes.
Thank you.
And that's quite a jump.
Yes.
and that is in St. Louis County or the city of Duluth?
This is the city of Duluth.
Looks like there's a question from Member Oswald.
Yes, Member Oswald?
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make the comment that as clerk, I received notices from the city and the county when people appeal their property tax rates, which does happen. And so we are involved in that process even though we don't get a say-so in it. And so I just wanted to make sure that other board members are aware that it happens, because I didn't know that happened until I was clerk, so.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, I just, more for the public, so if the public has questions, they should go to the county.
They can, if it's directly billed from the school levy, of the, portion of the
Right.
levy, then they can email, me, and with their parcel number, contact information, and their question, and I will get back to them. But if it's the county portion, or St. Louis portion, they need to contact them.
And what page again is the school district's portion? Is it like 13, 15?
Let me get that for you. You give me a minute, I'll find it for you. So on page 5, it explains the breakdown of it. On page 6, it tells you the overall, what our portion is, the 2.03%. But our levy is a little over 43 million. That's our portion of the levy. And that is on page, that's towards the back.
But this is the school district's portion of our property taxes, 2.3%.
That is correct.
Of my property tax, I live in Duluth, goes to the school district.
That's correct. So page 23, it gives you the levy, gross levy comparison. And it shows you what it was last year in payable 22, what our pay is in 23, and the increase of the 873,000, which is 2.03%.
Any other questions?
That's the increase then, so
Yes.
what's the total property tax
The 40.
portion for that a resident would,
This-
homeowner would pay?
I don't have that number, I can get that for you, but I know the school portion is the $43,958,966.87.
Hi, on page 21, and this might be more helpful for the public, but can you just talk about why you separated the general fund from the community education levy?
So that is, that's how we enter the information into the levy portal at MDE. We enter general fund information, we enter community ed information, and debt service levy information. They don't combine it, they keep it separate for us.
And on page 20, can you tell me what number 6 OPEB acronyms are?
That's OPEB. So that's our post-retirement benefits that we have to provide and keep in our fund balances for retirements. So we as a district, that's what actuarials do every year. We do a very large and pretty intensive report for our actuarials every year. And they predict how many retirements we have. We have to have that money in the bank, so to speak, at all times. We can't say, okay, in 10, 20 years, we are gonna owe $20 million in OPEB, but we have to have it.
Okay. I like that as a
Yes,
retired
that's
teacher.
right, we have to have it there. We can't say, oh, we'll sell a bond in 20 years to get it.
Yeah.
We have to own the money today.
So it's the post-retirement benefit.
Correct. Other post-employee benefits.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
thanks. Then how come it shows in the red in proposed and in dollar
So they
difference?
do adjustments, so that's a great question. So when we do the levy numbers in August that we give to MDE, if we have less retirees that are active, then we have to have less money available, and we have to make an adjustment for it. Now, you'll see some years now, we may get 30 retirements, and those numbers will drive back up again. So it changes from year to year. And they will go in, and if we've, like I said, if we've lost 20, let's say 20 retirees, so we owe less, so they have to take that money away. It's just on paper. We have to make an adjustment in the levy. So we're always being truthful to the school board and the public for how much we really owe.
Thank you, you're pretty knowledgeable about this stuff, so I really, you can answer all our questions.
Yeah, I was taught well by my predecessor.
Your
So first one
experience.
I've done without her in 10 years.
Good job. Any other questions?
Just a couple of general comments. Again, I appreciate the background that you provided in the history, and I actually remember coming to my first Truth in Taxation meeting in 1994 when I was a brand new parent in the district, and I learned so much. So, but this was just really great background information, and I really appreciate it. And I want to make sure the public hears the charts on here, particularly on 8, 9, 10, and 11 that go over our budget currently and where we spend our money and our expenditures. I think those charts are just really important. This information is available for anyone to see, and I appreciate the background that you provided in this. And I guess just also in terms of a general comment, I appreciated the pages with the referendum, the last referendum we passed.
It's a good reminder.
Yes, a good reminder, and
It's 11 and 12
yeah.
13.
14 and 15,
14
yeah.
and 15.
And just really want to thank the community for your support in 2018 for our questions 1 and 2. We had 73% support for our first question. We had 53% for our second, and while we didn't make the third, it was we did still get 48% of the vote. And so, thank you to the community for supporting public education. And I know many of us, including some of the folks I'm seeing in the back of the room there, did some door knocking in support of the referendum. And so, thank you.
And will this be loaded up on the board book?
Yes,
Okay,
it might be there already, yes.
it's there, okay. So our community too that's watching live stream or on the YouTube tomorrow can access this report as well. Superintendent Mays.
I just want to say thank you to Simone and the finance team, as well as Whipley, who we'll be hearing from later during the regular school board meeting. There's so much work that goes into the business services and finance, and Simone, you've done just an incredible job stepping up and stepping into a very complex role, and you've really taken great work that was already being done and also made it your own, and are moving forward in positive directions. As superintendent and on behalf of the district, we're very thankful.
And I thank you very much for all of your support and allowing me to do my job to the best of my ability, and to the school board for your support. Thank you.
Seeing no other questions, thank you again, Simone and team. And then again, there is public comment at this, so I don't know if anyone is here. I mean, this was open to the public. This was really Truth in Taxation, like Member Loeffler Kemp said, if she came to it when she was a new parent here. It is really for community to come and see where their property taxes are going, because we get a lot of questions. So again, I like the handout as well, because when we're out in our community, we often hear that their property taxes have gone up tremendously and they're not going to, what is the school doing with them? And it's just interesting to have some documents and some research and some data to help us understand where all that property tax money goes. So is there anyone here to ask questions on truth in taxation? Seeing none, we do want to thank you though for being here, and we will, do I adjourn this? Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn. Member
Second.
Sandholm, a second by Member Loeffler Kemp. All those in favor of adjournment of our truth and taxation for our public, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, we're adjourned. And then we're just gonna roll right in.